Would you trade in your 3rd gen Overland rig for a brand new 4th gen Tacoma? Well, my buddy Jose did just that, and you may want to also after watching this video. What is going on, guys? Scott here from Horizon Bound. I hope you guys are doing well. I am doing terrific, and I am here with my good buddy Jose, aka Campy Gilmore. And in this video, we are gonna be doing a double rig walk around. That's right, 2 different Tacomas. We're gonna be talking about Jose's former 2018 Tacoma TRD Off-Road in cement, fully built out Overland rig. And we are gonna be comparing it to what, Jose?
So I just purchased a 2024 TRD Off-Road Premium in the iForce Max in the underground color to keep Campy alive. So we're gonna stay with the same gray palette, and we're gonna move to the new platform.
Awesome. Now, for those of you who have been following Campy Gilmore on Instagram, you have seen what he has done to this truck. This thing is dialed in, top to bottom, front to back. There is nothing but quality parts on this truck. You got CBI, you got Stealth custom wheels, you got Prinsu, CVT, Max Tracks, Toyos, nothing but the best. But if you're not following him, you should definitely go check out his Instagram page at Campy Gilmore. What do you got on your Instagram page?
So on my Instagram page, I'm just pretty much documenting all the camping trips that we all go along. A lot of them you're gonna see Scott be Horizon Bound on Instagram. There's a lot of collaboration with all the local off-roaders in the Southern California community. And additionally, when we travel to these different states, we'll meet up with them as well. So you'll see a lot of the camps, you'll see a lot of the trail riding, and you'll see a lot of essentially new product reviews as well.
Awesome. So definitely go check out his Instagram. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the trucks. Enough of this intro stuff. Jose, show me what you got on this bad boy.
So starting with this truck, it is a 2018 Tacoma TRD Off-Road. So one big reason why I'm jumping to the 2024 is with this specific trim level, there was real no tech yet, you know? So I got the small screen, I didn't have a front camera, so I ended up ultimately adding a front camera, which has been a huge game changer on the trail. And really just looking for tech, you know? I am a tech guy at heart, so I did like the options that the 2024 model offered. You know, even going to the iForce Max motor in particular, I'm looking for the additional power. This truck is re-geared and tuned, but I want to see what the iForce Max can do. All right, so we'll start talking about the build. So this bumper is CBI Off-Road's T3 aluminum bumper, or also known as their Baja bumper with the mid-height hoop. So a question that I'm always asked is, does it affect the adaptive cruise control, especially if you're running a pro style grill? And the answer is no. So I have no issues running adaptive cruise control or anything like that. CBI has absolutely hit it out of their park with their engineering to make it work seamlessly with the OEM Toyota locations. So to come down, we're gonna now be talking about the light bar. This is the S8 20-inch light bar from Baja Designs. This is the Factor 55 Fairlead and the Factor 55 Flat Link. The winch that I'm running is the Warn VR Evo 10,000 with the synthetic rope. So to talk on the winch, I also relocated the gearbox. So that's actually at about a 45-degree angle right behind the grill, so that in the event that you need a winch or whatever have you, it's super easy to get to, very plug and play. You're not trying to fumble to hit a certain angle to get the controller in there. It works seamlessly. So then to come down, we have, additionally, we opted for the winch brackets. So these are the reinforcement brackets that CBI offers. So if you plan on doing a lot of winching, some heavy winching, I highly recommend running these brackets. It's gonna give you the additional security to deal with, I guess, a heavier winch. So working our way around to the side of the truck, these are the Baja Designs Squadron Sports. I use these as ditch lights. And the great thing about CBI, the way that the bumper is built, is the fog lights actually flood where you have the light bar in the middle. So you're basically controlling these 2 zones, where right where those zones pick up, I have the squadrons picking up where they drop off. Additionally, up top, I have the Prinsu OG rack. So now Prinsu designs the Pro rack, but this is the first OG one. I got a 40-inch S8 light bar. So where my lights drop off from the front of the truck, this will pick up. So you're talking essentially about 180 degrees of coverage with the amber, just the way that it's set up with CBI and the placements of the lights. Going back to that, the Prinsu rack, Prinsu's absolutely hit it out of the park with aftermarket support. Whether you get your accessories through them or you're using a company like Midland, you're able to bolt up all of your accessories without issues. I mean, it's been super seamless. This is the Ghost Series antenna that also accompanies my MXT 575. All right, so now let's talk suspension. So I am running King's 2.5s adjustable resis with the Icon billet upper control arms. I absolutely love the ride of these Kings. I'm able to adjust the firmness on the fly. Everything has been perfectly seamless, have no issues at all with the Kings. I mean, it rides like a dream, as you all know. So King absolutely nailed this one, especially for this Tacoma. I have no issues at all with suspension. I've taken it everywhere. Everything has worked seamlessly. Additionally, I'm running the DRT cab mount relocation kit. So to fit these tires in, there was initially I tried to get away with a cab mount chop and a lot of trimming. It just was not working. So ultimately went with a cab mount relocation from DRT. It's able to give me the additional room. And what we ended up doing was putting this on a lift, a flex ramp essentially, and flexing the truck out and cutting. I'm a big fan of having the wheel well be full as opposed to other companies might have you trim the fender liner. I'm not a big fan of that. So I ended up just doing as much trimming as I can. And as it currently sits, absolutely no rubbing issues. I can turn. There's nothing at all right now. It is sitting perfectly fine with the 35s. So with that, actually, we can show you guys the inside of the truck. So coming inside the truck, one of the first mods I did to the truck was opting for the Expedition Essentials 3T PAM. It offers 2 fast chargers on it and multiple options for accessories. So I'm able to run a RAM mount for my cell phone, run a RAM mount for a tablet that can run Onyx Off-Road. I'm able to run the mic holder from Expedition Essentials as well. Everything is within hands reach of the driver. To come down here, we have the Switch Pros that are accompanied by SDHQ's mount. So it gives it an OEM feel, OEM look. I mean, it looks good. Everything is able to be accessed straight from the driver's seat. And one thing that Switch Pros did, which if you do not own a Switch Pro, I absolutely love that they offer Bluetooth capabilities. So in the event that we might be going fast or whatever it may be, sometimes I will have my phone with the Switch Pros pulled up on the Bluetooth setting. I can go from the steering wheel to tap, whatever I need to do, chase lights. I can control everything from my phone or directly from the switches. They offer multiple functionalities. If you want a strobe, whatever it may be, Switch Pros will have you taken care of in those regards. That's pretty much everything inside the truck, outside the Midland MXT 575. Other than that, everything is OEM. So then we'll work our way down. We have the CBI Off-Road Trail Series sliders. Now, these sliders are my absolute favorite sliders that are currently on the market for 3rd gen Tacomas. I love the tubular style with the kick out. You get yourself put in a pinch or whatever it may be. You have the security of a solid rock slider, easily to install, all bolt on, and you have the kick out. So, I mean, it scratches every box, but on top of it all out, aesthetically, it is a beautiful slider. Nothing against the Overland series sliders or anything with the top plates. I personally prefer the look of a tubular slider, so that's what I went with. So working my way to the back of the truck, I opted for the CBI Off-Road Overland Series mid-height bed rack. Going back, I mean, there's a common trend here. CBI and Prinsu, the aftermarket support is phenomenal. I'm able to mount max tracks with CBI's proprietary hardware or whatever I do on the other side or the top of the tent or even the brackets in the rear is all CBI. So it is literally a one-stop shop if you're trying to build an Overland rig. So with that, I got their mounts, some max tracks, and then we can get into the suspension. And what we'll start with here is these are the Toyo Open Country Mud Terrains in a 315 by 70 by 17. And they are sitting on Stealth Custom Series F5s in the -38 offset. So I absolutely love the look of the -38 offset on tires and wheels, especially with the Tacoma. I mean, aesthetically, it gives it such a beautiful stance. I love the way that it sits, and talking over to the guys at Stealth Custom Series, I mean, I've we've talked back and forth. I mean, I've aired these things down to close to 10 pounds and never had any issues popping a bead or anything like that. They have performed phenomenally. I absolutely love the wheels that are on this truck. So to make up for a lot of the weight in the truck, I upgraded from the OEM leaf pack to the Deaver Series Stage 2. So it would make up for all the weight that I currently have on the truck. And then when we go camping, I got all my Pelican cases or whatever have it in the back, you know, a fridge, ice chest, whatever it may be. The truck sets level. So I always have a level field of how I'm gonna sit, how am I gonna park, how am I gonna do everything. The Deavers absolutely fixed any problem with any sagging issues. So now we'll go up into the tent. So this is the CVT Mount Shasta, which is now being branded on their website as their medium tent. This is the Pioneer series with the extended fly. This tent, absolutely love it. I'm 6'2", and me and my wife have probably spent well over 200 nights in this tent. In any type of weather you can imagine. I've been in snow, wind, whatever, and it's performed phenomenally. There is not a single tear on this tent, and I've had it for about 4.5 years now. Now dealing with snow and whatnot, they have a zip-on annex, so you're able to run your heaters, run a diesel heater, whatever it may be, heat up the tent, you are good to go. It is a all-season tent. I cannot tell you how impressed I am with that tent. So coming back to the bed rack, again, going back to the modularity of CBI's products, I'm able to mount chase lights. These are the S2 Sports. So I use these not only as chase lights when we're on the trail, but whenever we get camp set up, they also second as a camp light. So I'm able to open the rig supply, ultra swing, drop the tailgate. I have an area to cook. I got everything to go. I can use the lights, and it just works out perfect. So to go back on the rig supply ultra swing, I get a lot of questions on this. I absolutely love what these guys have done over at Rigged. So once they offer a no wobble style hitch carrier, and I have a 35-inch tire on here, and I've romped on this thing. We've gotten pretty rowdy. I have no noise, no complaints, no issues at all. This thing has performed phenomenally. I have the drop down camp table, so I'm able to set up my stove, or sometimes we might just be getting out just to make a quick sandwich or whatever. It is an awesome area to get everything set up. The Rig guys, you guys are absolutely killing it. I love this product, and who knows, you might see it on the next build. So let's go to the rear. So again, running Alpha Rex. These are their Pro Series lights in the Alpha Rex color. Absolutely love the lights that Alpha Rex provides, whether it be the front or rear. If you have a 2018 Tacoma, you know that we had issues with those halogen lights and how dim they were. Alpha Rex has fixed it with not only adding an aesthetically just great looking light with amber capabilities for DRLs, but you have LED lights, straight plug and play. The lights are super bright, they look phenomenal, and I absolutely love the amber DRL. There's a common theme with the truck. Obviously you can tell I am a huge fan of amber, so I appreciate Alpha Rex giving me that option. Now, going back to CBI's aftermarket support, you're able to mount whatever you need because of the holes and the placements that they have and the brackets they provide. So for the other side of the truck, I am running the Roto packs. These are two 2-gallon Roto packs, and I have to give it up to Roto packs for offering this type of can, whereas you're able to change these on the fly. So depending on the trip and what we're doing, I can have these be 2 water, 1 fuel, 1 water, however. So that's part of the process when we go on these big long trips is, hey, are we gonna need fuel? Are we gonna need additional water, whatever. I love being able to store this and keep the inside of my cab less cluttered and the bed of the truck. So it is a great option to go with this style where you can just seamlessly change on the fly what you need for your trip. I absolutely love that. So then working our way down, CVT 79-inch Pioneer awning. The way that I have the truck set up, deploy on the driver's side for the tent, and on the passenger side, I use for the awning. So historically, you'll see a lot of people run just the cab height awnings. I chose to go with a 79. I'm a big guy, like I mentioned previously. This gives me enough shade for me, my wife, a camp table, maybe a speaker, whatever it may be. I have an ample amount of shade depending on where the truck is staged. I mean, it works out perfect. I absolutely cannot say how much I love that CVT awning. So that is pretty much Campy Mobile version 1.0, the walk around of the rig in a nutshell.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I mean, you made this thing look beautiful. I'm really sad to see her go, but I'm really excited to see what you got in store for 2.0. Should we go take a look at it?
Let's go.
All right.
So welcome to Campy Mobile version 2.0. So first and foremost, I want to give a huge thanks to Ventura County Toyota for hooking me up with the underground TRD Off-Road Premium in such a short turnaround. This thing has all the bells and whistles. I opted for as much as I can get on this truck because I know that coming from a third gen with not all the tech, that I definitely wanted to have all the tech. So we can start off by kind of checking out the inside of the truck, letting you know all the upgrades I opted for. So I did opt for having the iForce Max, so this is the hybrid trim level with the off-road premium. So I do have dual climate control, I have heated steering wheels, I have the leather seats, I have all of the creature comforts that you can imagine. I got the cameras, the electronic sway bar disconnect. I have everything added, and I am super excited to get started on this build.
Congratulations, Campy. We hunted this baby down for you. It's the first in Southern California. What do you think?
I'm loving the truck. Thank you guys at Ventura County Toyota for getting this taken care of. I'm super excited for the new 4th Gen 2024 Tacoma in the iForce Max. I can't thank Ventura County Toyota enough. They were able to lock me down a truck within 48 hours after I sold my 3rd gen. These guys are working around the clock to make sure that they're providing the best customer service possible.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys so much again, and I'm super excited to work with you guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see the build, baby.
All right, guys, so we just got back from the dealership. I want to give a huge shout out to Mike and Jeff over at Ventura Toyota. They were able to turn the truck around, get me the exact trim level I wanted ordered within less than 48 hours. Appreciate you guys. The color, everything is exactly what I wanted. So yeah, thanks you guys, Ventura Toyota.
Wow, 48 hours. That's impressive. If you guys are interested in getting a truck and you're in, Southern California, definitely go check out Ventura Toyota. That's pretty awesome. 48 hours is a quick turnaround, especially since it's the underground. I know that's kind of hard to get right now. That's awesome. Well, before we talk about the 4th gen, you mind if I kind of ask a couple more questions about the 3rd gen?
Yeah.
Why the change? I gotta know why you decided to switch to this. It's beautiful, but your rig was decked out. What was the reason?
So the biggest change, and I kind of mentioned it on the walk around, was really I am a tech guy at heart, so I did want the new creature comforts, if you will, of the new trucks, right? So I really enjoy the new technologies that Toyota is putting in these vehicles. As we all know, the 3rd gen relatively stayed a little untouched for quite some time. I was in a 2018, so I didn't have the off-road premium package. It was very bare bones in that sense. I wanted the Apple CarPlay. I wanted to be able to run Onyx off that and be able to not have to kind of keep fumbling between, a tablet and a phone. So really was the big tech. And obviously the elephant in the room is that of the iForce Max. So I wanted something with a little bit more power. I didn't have to, as of right now, I don't have to re-gear or anything once the truck is built. There's a lot of stuff out on forums. These guys running 37s and full builds, and they're still, they're running just fine.
Definitely, no, that makes sense. I keep forgetting because, my Taco's a 2020 and it came with the Apple CarPlay. It came with all of that stuff. And granted, I did pay for the, the advanced tech package and the premium, sound, all that stuff. So I do get the heated seats. I do get that Apple CarPlay, which, I guess I take for granted. It's nice being able to have Onyx up on the screen rather than having to use your phone and zoom in and all this stuff. It's right there. And now that you have a huge screen in this thing, looking at where you're going on Onyx is gonna be a game changer. So no, 100%, I completely agree and I completely understand why. What are you gonna miss most about your 3rd gen?
That's a great question. So I think, as cliche as it sounds, the thing that I will miss the most really is tied to the truck is the memories, right? So you're talking, thousands of hours of conversations in that cab, just sitting on the radios and talking back and forth. And, those are core memories that I'll have for the rest of my life, right? And you're talking, well over 200 nights sleeping in the bed of that truck with my wife and being out with my friends and just everything that was part of that truck. I mean, it was essentially, we got a real tight-knit community, but be able to expand and just create all these memories, they are tied to that truck. So that's one thing that I will miss dearly about the 3rd gen for sure.
100%. No, yeah, those memories. We built some awesome memories with that trip. I mean, with that truck. I mean, Utah. you know, hitting up Bryce Canyon, you know, Trona, Alabama Hills, Torqueville. Yeah, that's right, Torqueville
Your birthday
Falls.
trip in Oregon.
That's right. Yeah, we've done so much, and I just said it, Alabama Hills. I mean, before we even had our trucks built out, before I even knew you, I mean, we were talking about this later on. I mean, I've known him for a couple of years now, and we were just reminiscing about, you know, some of our first trips that we did, and it turns out he was camping in Alabama Hills the same very night, New Year's 2020,
Yep.
if I remember right. New Year's 2020, we were maybe like 500, 600 yards from each other.
Yeah.
Had no clue, but here he is in his stock Taco, and I'm in mine. Hadn't done anything to it. I don't think I even had a lift or tires. It was practically brand new, and you know, just talking about those memories. So 100%. I see why you're gonna miss that truck. We've made some awesome memories. Well, I hate to see, you know, you leave from that truck, but I am excited to see you hop to this new 4th gen. So let's go ahead and talk about this guy. What do you plan on doing to it, and what do you got on it right now? I know we talked a little bit about the, you know, when we were at the dealership, but what do you have? Let's talk about that.
So the biggest thing on this, right, is obviously I've beaten a dead horse here, but this is the iForce Max, right? So before, previously in the 3rd gen, I had to re-gear and tune and the whole 9, but with here, it's given me a package to kind of build from. Obviously gonna add a bunch of weight to this truck. So we'll see, you know, in the future how it does with all the added weight. You know, going through forums and other YouTube channels and whatnot, I've seen guys run 37s and full builds, just straight stock. So for me, that's super impressive. The gas mileage, super impressive. I mean, you know, I mean, once you start getting heavy, you're 9-10 miles to the gallon. Yeah. So I'm super hyped to get this rolling. And to be honest, without really building the relationships from the 3rd gen, I wouldn't have a lot of the stuff that we're bumping into the 4th gen. You know, I've had a bunch of companies want to collaborate with the build, some previous companies that I've worked with, that I'm super hyped, you know, to not only test the product in real time, but give them my honest reviews of maybe there might be some things that I did miss on the 3rd gen, and maybe some things that we can tackle with the 4th, right? So with that being said, we could start kind of from the front. I'll let you guys know where we're going with the build, and then just work our way around the truck. I think aesthetically, Toyota has hit it out of the park. I love the front end look of the truck. I mean, going right into the grille, right? So I love the look of the grille. Obviously 2018, it kind of looked like a cheese grater. So they must have listened to the community, kind of made it look a lot better. I will be swapping this grille out though. Once the aftermarket support comes out and all these companies start creating grills, I'm excited to see what they come out with, but I'll probably be going with more of a Trail Hunter series, which is the matte black pro style grill. But I do want to ultimately delete all the chrome off the truck. So that's one of the biggest things there. Now that you go down to their OEM fogs, the fogs put out a lot of light. So just straight from the manufacturer, you're talking like you're ready to roll. But I will be swapping out these fog lights with Baja Designs fog kit. The snowplow will definitely be one of the first things removed. As it sits, like I said, it's currently all stock. We're going to be changing out the whole bottom portion for CBI Off-Road's Covert Series bumper. It'll have a very similar setup to the 3rd gen Tacoma. We're gonna have a Warren 10,000 pound winch in there. We're gonna have the Ultra hook. It's gonna be pretty close. So then going up to the headlights, I really like these headlights. They put out a lot of light, but I will also be swapping these out for Alpha X's new headlights and be running their Amber DRLs. Be very also similar to the 3rd gen build as well. All right, so now let's move to the front tire setup and the suspension. So from the manufacturer, you get these Wild Peak all-terrains and their TRD off-road wheel. I really like the look of this wheel. So it looks really good, although I will be swapping the wheels and tires for Stealth Custom Series and Toyos. So if you can't tell by now, there's gonna be a lot of similarities between the 3rd gen and the 4th gen build. I will be running the identical setup that I had on the 3rd gen. So it will be a 35-inch Toyo Open Country mud terrain and a 17-inch Stealth Custom Series F5. Now we'll dip into suspension. From OEM, you get the Bilstein suspension with the OEM upper control arms. With the collaboration of a lot of these companies, I have now partnered with Peak Suspension. So I will be running Peak's 2.5s with adjustable resis and their billet upper control arms. Now to go back to the wheels, Toyota has finally listened to the community. We're able to run bigger tires and have minimal trimming. So they've added this plate here that you can take these bolts off and you can run 35s straight from the manufacturer all the way up to 37s. Now with 37s, there will be some trimming, but I mean, if you know, with a 3rd gen, it was you had to have a cab mount relocation. There was a whole bunch of stuff that went into run bigger tires. Now Toyota is giving us the option to run bigger tires with the removal of that plate. So let's talk about the ditch light setup and the accessories that I'm gonna be adding to the truck. So previously I was on a Baja Designs Squadron Sport, so I'll be changing to the Baja Designs Squadron Pros. I wanted to get a little bit of light throw and actually try out the new lights. I have never ran a Pro Series light, so this will be my first time, so I'm super hyped about that. I'll be running CBI Off-Road's ditch light brackets, and then moving on up, previously I was running an S8 40-inch light bar. I will be opting for the Baja Designs LP4s, so I'll be running 7 LP4s on the Prinsu Pro rack. So previously I was running the Prinsu OG rack. Now I am going to be moving up to the Prinsu Pro rack. I'm super hyped to try this rack out. There's a lot of new changes with the Prinsu Pro rack. Additionally, I will be running the Summit handles with the lights. Camp lights obviously are huge, so with adding those lights, I'm able to work off both sides of the truck. I'm super excited about adding those Summit handles. And then working our way down, obviously there is no sliders or anything on the truck. It's the way that I ordered it from Toyota. Reason being is I didn't want to have Predator tubes and stuff on the truck that I was going to have to take off anyways. So I will be running CBI Off-Road's Trail Series sliders with the kick out, virtually the same exact slider that was on my 3rd gen. I obviously love the tubular look. It's a great looking slider and it's made to take some damage. Moving to the rear end of the truck, it's very tentative. There is going to be a lot of weight added to the truck, so I will have to kind of work with this on the fly. Obviously there is no leaf pack in this truck, so I will have to work that out. But now let's talk about the bed rack setup. So I will be running CBI Off-Road's cab height bed rack, which essentially gives me a flat platform to run whatever I need to run for the full length of the truck. Previously I was running a CVT mount Shasta tent. Now I have now partnered with Free Spirit Recreation. I will be running the Evolution Series V2 up top, so it is going to have some overhang and go over the cab. Additionally, I'll be running their new V2 270 awning that'll be coming out. I'm super excited to be working with Free Spirit Recreation. Thank you guys so much for helping partner with the build. I cannot wait to get this thing ready to roll. Now on the sides of the roof rack, I will be running a very similar setup to the 3rd gen. I will be running CBI Off-Road's mounts for their Max Tracks, and on the other side, I will be running the Roto packs that I previously had on the 3rd gen. Very similar. Now working to the rear end of the truck, obviously there is not much aftermarket support yet. CBI Off-Road is working on high clearance front and rear bumpers right now, but I will be returning to Rigged. So Rig Supply, absolutely phenomenal product. They have hit it out of the park. I'm going to be running their Ultra String with the camp table, essentially the same exact setup again as the 3rd gen. They've also helped partner the build. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys out at Rigged. And that's kind of really the setup in a nutshell. I do really like that you have the option to basically drop the tailgate. You're able to drop the tailgate whether it be with the fob or the finger. So if we're out here and we're packing up gear, there's just multiple options to get it in here. I will be swapping out this insert with a mountain hatch once they come in. But yeah, I mean, that's really it in a nutshell. Like I said, the build is very tentative. There's things kind of changing on the fly. The market is quite literally changing every day. Speaking of that, the tail lights. So Alpha Rex just teased the new tail light, so I will be swapping over to the Alpha Rex tail lights. I love the Nova Black series that Alpha Rex has, so I cannot wait to get those tail lights in, and I can't wait for the headlights to come in. So the truck is going to be changing very much in the next 2 weeks. I will be at Peak's location getting the truck fully built. So if you guys want to see this truck in person, come check out the CBI Off-Road booth at RoadX Rigs in San Diego on October 19th. It will be the official unveiling of the truck, and I cannot wait to show you guys what it looks like.
All right, well, yeah, I'm extremely excited to see this thing put together, built out by Peak Suspension at Rodeo X Rigs in a couple weeks. I know Peak will do a great job with all of the installs, but that's kind of just focusing on the exterior. We didn't really talk about interior. Is there anything going on with the interior?
So unfortunately, like I mentioned, there's not a lot of aftermarket support currently for the truck itself. Everything's kind of coming out daily. But in regards to the interior, there's nothing really that's come out. Previously in the 3rd gen, I was running the Expedition Essentials 3T PAM, and I hope that they're working on a 4T PAM because that's something that I will be missing. Just the modularity of that system and having a mic holder and being able to put ram balls and mounts. I mean,
GoPros, everything.
Everything is ready to roll.
Yeah.
So I hope Expedition Essentials is working on the 4T PAM.
Yeah.
And then I will be swapping over from the Switch Pros over to the S Pods.
Oh, nice.
So with that being said, I am wanting to try new product out and kind of give my real world experiences to what I like, what I don't like. I've talked to a lot of people that run S Pods. They swear by them. They look like a great product. Yeah. Also partnered with Baja Designs. So I'm super hyped to try it out, and I'll let you guys know how I like the S Pod over the Switch Pros.
I'm excited. I've considered S Pod. I love my Switch Pro, but I've considered S Pod as well. I know that they got a couple different, theirs is more of a touch screen rather than the kind of clicky, but I think they actually do have some, you know, like actual hard buttons that you can push and stuff too, right?
They do. They have a 8 switch panel, and they also have the touch screen as well.
That's really cool. And it's all able to still be controlled by your phone, you know, all the same features. That's really cool. Well, I'm excited to see that as well. What about you guys? I got questions for you. I've asked Jose plenty about his trucks, but I want to know from you guys, would you do what my buddy Jose just did and sold his 3rd gen Taco for the brand new 4th gen? Would you sell your fully built out rig for the next generation, the next platform of, it doesn't even need to be a Tacoma, it could be a Tundra or a F-150, a Jeep, whatever. Would you do what he just did? I want to know. Put it in the comments. And if you guys got questions for Jose or myself, but mostly Jose, because I mean, he's the one with the badass 3rd gen and now 4th gen Taco, let us know in the comments below, and we will make sure to answer them in the next video where we show the unveiling of this guy with all of the new mods. You know, like I said, put it in the comments below. Thank you so much, Jose.
Thanks, man.
Always a pleasure. I love you, dude. I'm looking forward to all of the new memories that we're gonna do in this 4th gen. The camping trips, the trails on tap events, everything. Super hyped for you. And you guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and click that bell icon if you want to be notified when I drop the next video. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you on the horizon.